Okay, hi everybody. I'm Bonnie Burd, and I'm the host of the New Earth AC Community Chat, and we're here with Denise Wood, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell everyone all about herself, and go ahead and tell everybody all about you, Denise.
Sure. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I really appreciate being invited on to the community. It's just been an amazing time for us light workers, even though, the world's been shut down. It's just really been an opportunity for so many to connect on the inner, as we well know. And, angels are reporting that the whole world is, waking up, souls are waking up. So my name is Denise Wood, and I'm the founder of Amplifying Love. Amplifying Love is energy work similar to Reiki, only next level. Next level meaning it is more powerful, yet extremely beautiful and calm. Calm might be for some. But I was a massage therapist for over 20 years and did Reiki Master Teacher for a number of years. And through all of this, learning other modalities of energy work, this came through. And as many people, we all have our unique gift. And my gift is the amplifying love. So it amplifies the love within you so you can let go and release everything that no longer serves you. Helps you to amplify your chakras, amplify your aura so that you can be your soul purpose. It's why we all came here, to be our soul purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what have you been up to lately? What's your favorite project that you've been working on?
Oh, you know what? That's a great question. in these times of, I haven't really been working on a project, so to speak. I have, over the summer, I did every day a Amplifying Love live on Facebook, and it really gained traction. And I thought I was only supposed to do that in August. However, I did it every day until the election. Then after the election, I did it once a week, and then December hit, and it was like I didn't need to do it anymore. So it helped prepare us for these times, these magical times. So that was a huge problem. Every day for about 10 minutes, I got on at just about noon my time. So yeah, it was really neat.
I was used to seeing you every day.
Yeah, now it feels like, well, gosh, if I don't post every day something like a sunrise or a sunset, I feel like,
Yeah. So this is what this is about, this community chat that we're doing is just so that we can get to know our community, get closer. You feel more comfortable when you know everyone here because we've grown and grown and grown. And the other admins, Robin, Nicole, and David Starr, and Jesse May, we all decided that we're going to reach out to the people in our group because when you know your community, you feel at home. And so that's what we're trying to create.
Isn't that the truth? You do business or you congregate to people you know, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've gotten to know you through the group, and we've been over in other projects together and having lots of fun. And your light language. I really love your tone. Well, it's kind of a mix of light language and toning. So how did that gift come about with you?
Sure. I went down to 2017 is when Amplifying Love was birthed. And I didn't even know what to call it for a long time until I met up with a friend, and I just kept asking her, I want to meet with you. And I just was on her for like once a month until finally she could meet me. And I was explaining to her what I do. She goes, "Oh yeah, you're amplifying it." I'm like, "Oh, hello." We have to meet those certain people to give us the thought or the connection or whatever it is. And in 2018, I went down to Arizona, to Window Rock, Arizona, and every year there they have something called the Gathering of Healers. And if you've never been, I highly suggest it. The grounds are on the Navajo reservation, and it's amazing. Just, you know, a normal person would have flew down, but I drove from Wisconsin all the way to Arizona. That in itself is a book.
I did. That's a drive. I did that once all the way from Michigan. We drove all the way to California.
Gosh, yeah, it's amazing.
It's a beautiful drive though. If you can, if you're up to it.
It's a gorgeous drive. Yeah, absolutely. And I did it by myself, which I was not, I've driven across this country many times just traveling to see family. But so I drove down there, and as soon as I put my feet on the ground at Window Rock, I just knew I was home. I just knew I was home, and it just felt so familiar. And I'm sure one of my past lives, I lived there.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I had started once a month, I was doing Amplifying Love full moon sessions where I'd gather some people up, we'd put someone in the center, and we'd all pour love onto that person, and whatever. And some people were light workers, energy workers, some people were not, but it became apparent that if you had a message, you would just say it to that person in the center. And not only were we clearing for that person, but we were clearing for everyone in the circle and, beyond, right? How far did it go? Only the universe knows, until we built up enough energy, right? Now it just goes everywhere.
Wow.
And so during that time, I just started speaking this stuff, and I'm like, what am I have no idea what I'm saying. And then during the opening ceremony at the Gathering of Healers, someone started talking this talk. His name is, I'm a little dyslexic sometimes, Duncan Garrett. Garrett Duncan. I know a Duncan Ray, so I get mixed up with names. So Garrett, who is of a tribe, but he may be Navajo, I'm not exactly sure, but he was speaking this language during the opening ceremony, and immediately I'm like, okay, I need to sit down. He goes, well, I do readings. Can you just we scheduled a reading? And during that time, he's the one that explained to me what this angelic talk I was doing. And what he told me was it's a derivative of Kuan Yin. And it's so funny because I didn't even remember that until I went back and I listened to the audio, the 3-minute audio I got, because my phone rang in the middle and the audio stopped. But it's a derivative of Kuan Yin. And I don't even know how many years earlier, I would say 5 years earlier, I saw a local clairvoyant, and he told me, you know what, Kuan Yin has some information for you. I'm like, well, who's that? And he's like, well, you need to look her up.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
So the fact that I started things just start lining up, and I know so many people in this community understand that. So, and he also, it was just, and then he's the one also said, you're going to start toning. I'm like, what is that? I had no idea. So you have to know, even though I was doing Reiki, I really wasn't in the spiritual world so much. So all these things are brand new to me. Like this language I'm speaking. Now I'm start singing these tones. What in the world?
Well, Reiki's like a magnet. It starts opening keys and codes, and before you know it, you're doing all kinds of things.
Absolutely. So, but and that's that's how that started out. To know about it. So that was 2018, and that fall for sure, I just started singing these tones, and it's not necessarily musical. So when I do it, for some people, it's like a little off, but it's the pitch that's needed to clear. And when I hit all those points, the cool thing is I was new into Amplifying Love. I was doing it for my massage clients at the end. And this one lady, I did the tones at the end, and she's like, she goes, I actually see color with music. And I saw color with every tone you were doing. And in her own head, she was like, let's keep going higher and higher and higher and higher. And she goes, and when I got to the top, it just opened everything up. And so then for sure, I knew every time, to trust my instincts. Isn't that the truth? We all have to trust our instincts. and trust the knowing that we get to like follow through. Whether you see it, hear it, or know it, or feel it, just do it, because what do you have to lose? If you get it
Really.
wrong, like, just like, this is what I see, this is what I feel, this is what I'm knowing, and if it's not for you, then it's meant for somebody else. Oh, okay, it's not for you. So that's I think the hardest, for people. For me, it was pretty easy because I'd never been through any of this before. And I just, I would always say, does this mean anything to you? Does this mean it? Because I keep hearing it in here.
Yeah. Yeah, because I speak
So,
light language too, and I get the same thing. I mean, you just know that you're supposed to be doing it, and you just do it, and you trust, that it's everything that they need. And, when you ask them, if you ask them for, you're doing a divine healing, and you're asking for someone needs a heart healing, and you ask for that before you start speaking it, well, you guarantee that those tones are coming through that you need,
absolutely.
And light
When
language
you're coming from
it's all about more.
yeah.
It's not about knowing what it means. It's about feeling it and sensing it and allowing that energy to move and open keys and codes. And yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's just been amazing. I still don't quite understand what I'm saying. It's so funny because I'll be doing something at home and I will have missed doing something, or it's kind of funny because it'll blurt out in an unpleasant way. And I'm like, well, is that even right? I'm using that language is coming out when I'm frustrated.
No.
And it just comes out. I don't even like.
Well, I think what happens is
so
because it's ancient language, so I think it just your brain gets so used to having it in there that it just diverts to that, because I'll be doing something and I'm just rattling away, and then my daughter will say, "Mom, you're not speaking English." I'll be like, "Oh, sorry." Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny.
Do you have a hard time
yeah,
with your family and that? I mean, do you have a hard time with them accepting you doing light language and what you do?
So the truth is, putting it out there every day on Facebook, you don't know who is watching you, right? And even though they don't comment or put a like to it, they're watching you.
Mm-hmm.
My husband's grandnephew, who's in his 30s now, he mentioned, "Oh, I watch your wife on Facebook. It's very relaxing." But
Wow.
I don't know. I think that they finally gotten used to where I come from. Now, do I speak light language around them? No, because why push them further away from me? And I don't defend what I do. This is me. This is who I am. We all have a purpose here. This is what I do now. And if you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay. I don't mind, but I'm not going to change myself for you. You just gotta. The wonderful thing is
I feel the same way, but I think it's easier to just not for the people that are uncomfortable. Just let them be where they're at. It's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My husband, he'll be a guinea pig for me, but he doesn't believe in any of it. Even though he's experienced amazing things, he still doesn't believe it at all. It's hilarious.
My husband, I'm not sure what he believes. Sometimes he'll say something out of the blue, he'll go, "Well, that sounded Mayan," or he'll just, and then the next time I want his opinion, he's like, "I don't know, gibberish." So I don't know really what he thinks. I have no idea, but it's fun anyway.
Yeah. No, and even we did this if some people are familiar with Lynn McTaggart, who does the Power of 8 circles, she's a scientist that wrote a book called The Field, which is about the field around our Earth. And then she wanted to know more what would happen if you put a group of people together and they focus. And so she does have a book out called The Power of 8. So not this summer, but the summer. So 2019 summer, 4 couples got together and we did this power of 8. And every time my husband had something to say. So the fact that he thinks what I'm doing, it just,
Yeah.
he participated and he really like saw things or felt things. And it's just like, I don't believe in that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Like they might ask you a question, but if you get too in deep, they're like, hey, yeah, well, that's enough.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's the unknown for my husband's 17 years older than I am. So it's kind of like the unknown for him. And so he's like, he does construction. He's very grounded. He's very concrete. He knows what he likes. He knows what he doesn't like. And, and it's not that he's black or white with his thinking, you can talk to him about, but when he's like, I'm right, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
it's okay.
Yeah. It doesn't, like, that's where people have problems because they want what they think is right, but really there's so many filters and everybody's looking through different lenses. Just because it's right for them doesn't mean it's right for you, and you don't have to be upset that they see it differently.
Right. That is so exactly right.
Yeah.
I through this whole process and seeing all the angel messages and following different people, when they all start saying about the same thing, it's time to pay attention.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
So how's it been going with you through your ascension, through the energies rising and, the things that you've been doing to take care of yourself? How have you been doing with it?
Well, I'll tell you, yesterday at about 2:00, no, even noon, I just was like, why am I so tired? But the Schumann resonance scale was completely blacked out at one point. I don't know if it was yesterday.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Strong power, strong energies coming in, and it's all meant to clear us. I do try to eat healthy, eating green. So lately I learned about this green smoothie that is half an avocado, like 2 or 3 stalks of celery, it depends on how big they are, and then power greens. And you mix that up. You might have to add a little water so it mixes up good. Otherwise it gets kind of stuck. And I have that for breakfast. And at lunch, I have basically the same thing, only not mixed up. And then at dinner, I just kind of eat what's in the house. And then from time to time, when I feel or know, I take a Epsom salt bath, if things have been heavy, or I'm learning a new job right now. And so it's like, my brain was like, but feels much lighter now. Feels a lot lighter now. But
that's good.
Yeah, it's just you just
remember to rest when you need to rest too. When your schedule gets too busy, you need to dial it back because it's not just our consciousness is going through this; it's our body. Our body is adjusting.
Physical bodies.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, I should mention that David Starr and I did this thing where the ancient Gaia and doing heart activation, which was super cool.
Yeah.
He had promoted, he was doing healing sessions. He wasn't going to do very many. I was like in the last moment, and it ended up that it was for the whole universe. It was for whoever wanted to, and it's a beautiful, my heart is even getting warm now. And through there, you learn how to activate your food so connecting with your cells. And then once you connect with your cells, you activate your food to serve your cells.
Yes.
It's really cool. So I highly recommend to go look at David's, because he's doing work with lots of different people, but that was definitely an amazing session that we had, and it ended up being for everybody. I mean, it's always a surprise. Every time you do a session with somebody, isn't it a surprise? Because you have no idea what's going to happen. People come in to you thinking, oh, I need this, and it's completely different because we don't know the levels of what's causing that issue or how many lifetimes people have had to like clear,
Yeah.
Every time it's just like
it's pretty amazing. And it's hard to describe too, even when you describe what it is you do, it's hard to do that because every person that comes in is different. Your guides and angels help you out and you do whatever it is you do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like the whole the whole Archangel team, the Holy Family, like Metatron, like so many are always helping. And then there's always like golden orbs or silver orbs or rainbow orbs. They're all just like, depending on who's on the table, what they're ready for and what there is needed to be assisted for them to move to the next level to get to their purpose. Because our purpose is always changing, right?
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that
Don't
when
you
you take
think?
those, I think so too. When you take all those pictures of your room, oh my gosh, all that light in there, it's so beautiful. I mean, wow.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking
It's,
about she takes pictures and puts it on her Facebook page, and it's
please go
just
back and look.
beautiful.
Even this morning, it was crazy. So I've been taking Joanne, I'm going to forget her last name. She's from Australia. And I met her through the Wise and Ancient group. And I can't remember her last name. I'm sorry, Joanne. She's a beautiful soul. And she was doing, I'm like, well, how is she getting those? And I was at my girlfriend's house trying to take a picture similar with the sun coming in. And there was no like reflection from the lenses that showed all the rainbow light. I'm like, well, isn't that interesting? So it's the energy that is there. And, you know, when I'm called to do it, I actually miss them like, oh, dang, it's not sunny today. I can't go and take that picture and share it with the world.
Yeah.
Because
so
there's codes
beautiful.
in there. There are codes in there. So thank you
Absolutely.
to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I mean, every time you do it, I'm like, oh, look at them. Angels in there. You know, all that
Don't
angelic
you just feel
energies.
the energy from it too?
Oh, yeah, it's
Don't you just,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's
well,
beautiful.
I have been doing Amplifying Love in this house since 2017. So that's going on 4 years of energy at least once a month, you know,
So it
besides
really
just
anchors in
being
that
here.
energy into the,
Mm-hmm.
the house really anchors that energy in. And
Yeah.
I've been, at my house, I've been teaching Reiki on the bigger porch on the other side. And every time I teach out there, the wind comes in, all the elements start going, the birds start going. It's just amazing. It's just, you like open a portal wherever you're at. And especially if you're doing it
Absolutely.
over and over, makes the energy work even easier, It's pretty amazing.
True. Very true.
Yeah. 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 So, what was your so your latest thing that you did with David? So what else have you done lately to
That's, well, besides working with oh shoot. Besides working with you amazing people, I haven't really been doing any other projects. David was the last one. I have been, I go to healers myself, Elizabeth Rose, Leo Ross, Sugar, every once in a while. And just, you just keep learning what you're supposed, whatever you're like zoomed in on, that's for you. Everybody can be talking about a specific person and they're not for you. That's okay, because you are zoomed in, you zoom in on the people that you need at that time. And then sometimes you go past the people that you were working with. Same with friends.
or it's not even going past them. It's just you've gotten the keys and codes you were supposed to share, and you're
Right.
off to do something else. And so,
Right.
So I mean, that's
In
kind of what
in
happens with all
past,
of us.
I'll thank you for saying that. I didn't mean as you go past them as like you're better than them. No, you've learned what you've learned. Now it's time to move and go learn something somewhere else, or get the keys and codes, like you like to say.
Well, and you give and receive what everybody you meet, you're giving and receiving.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
then, there's someone else that you need to give codes to, and they probably have some for you. So you move on to the next one. So it's just like we're all just doing what we're being guided to do. And that's how we keep meeting all
And
these
just,
beautiful light workers. I mean, it's so amazing what everybody's doing
isn't
out
that
there.
amazing? So
Wow,
true.
some of these people, and everybody's gifts are so unique to who they are. And that's the cool part. It's just
It
it's
really
just
is.
amazing. And what you do too, your voice, oh my gosh, I'll never forget the first time you were on Robin's show and you did that. And I was sitting there going, holy crap, I could feel that all over my body. I was like, wow, that is so amazing. But
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody has their way of amplifying the energy, but they just may use another word for it, or or they're not doing it in the tone way, they're doing it in some sort of alchemy, something their guides taught them. It's just
Right. Or hand light language, I started doing that a little bit. It's not as prevalent as sometimes as the light language speaking, but people give out codes through their hands, and
yeah, I do the same. I mean, like, I'll notice that if I'm channeling and I'm talking, my hands come out when I'm speaking English. So of
yeah,
course it's going to come out
absolutely.
when you're doing light language too.
Right,
Uh,
absolutely.
I mean, have you noticed
Yeah,
that
sometimes I'm driving down the road
sometimes you're driving down the road and you're doing it?
and I start like singing songs I never even don't even know the words to it, but I start humming stuff, and then I'll start speaking light language, and then my hands will want to go. I'm like, I'm driving.
In the car is the best because nobody can judge you for doing it. But yeah, keep your hands on the wheel though. It's not good to take
Exactly.
But yeah, like for my family, they support me, but they not sure what they think about the light language.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is the people that you've been working with lately? What has been the thing that's been happening over and over that you're finding? Is it the heart release, or is it just a lot of shadow work? What is it you've been finding that the people that you've been working with?
Oh, well, for me, it just feels like things are getting lighter and lighter. I can't, my shadow, I know a lot of people are doing extra shadow work right now. I'm not finding that for me. I know I went through a lot of craziness in 2003, and I just, from the moment I knew that I was doing Amplifying Love, I think just by doing it, it just like releases really. I'm sure there might be some time yet for me to, because, who knows how many lives we have to clear.
Right, right.
And and you can't compare yourself to other people because, if you watch someone like Leo Ross Sugar, you just like, look at him. He's always like clearing worlds and stuff. And he's like, I got to keep continuing to clear myself and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's just so amazing at the level of, how, and it's not that, again, anyone's better. It's just like, where are you vibrationally? And then what are you able to do with it? It's just like kindergarten, you learn how to color. Grade school, you learn how to like write cursive. Middle school, you learn how to speak in front of people. You just, and just every level is a different.
Continue to evolve.
Yeah.
But another thing too,
So
though, some people are just meant to be where they're at. They aren't supposed to be doing worlds, and they have their assignment.
absolutely.
Yeah, their assignment might be just doing the local people, or doing the earth work or the grid work. You never know until you're that person, and that's what you're drawn to. For us, I think,
Absolutely.
for you and I think that we just kind of like keep evolving and doing whatever spirit puts in front of us. So I don't know about you, but I'm not really even sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just doing whatever they guide me to do.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. Yeah, from when I first started this Amplifying Love to what it is now, I mean, it's worlds apart. And even people who, one of the first people I did Amplifying Love on was a friend, and she is also a Reiki Master Teacher. And when I was done and she got up off the table, she goes, what the hell did you just do? I thought something bad had happened, how she said it. And she can feel, but she could see what was going on. She goes, the worlds were spinning. Like, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. Tell me, what did I do? And since then it's expanded even more. So
yeah, because like we're like dissolving timelines. moving up into the higher timelines. Everybody's doing their work, and we're shifting into the higher timelines. And so it does feel like dizzy or whatever when you're releasing energy and everything's moving and stuff like that. And I feel like we all are kind of like forgetting. We get so busy with our busy work, forgetting that we're supposed to have fun too. We're not supposed to stay
Absolutely.
busy all the time. We're supposed to take a break, even if you got a lot of shadow to work to do. Take a minute to take a breath.
Right.
Don't just go right into
Listen, you
one thing
can't,
right into another.
right. You got to take time for yourself, to enjoy, because we came here to enjoy this life. That's for sure.
Yeah. And also enjoy your family and the people around you. They don't have to
Mhm.
be in the same space you're in.
Right.
I mean, they don't have to completely understand you. You just know you love them, and just,
Exactly.
you know, we have friends we can talk to about stuff that, makes us happy. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, I
Right.
mean, just remember to, and, they're going to ask you questions eventually. Because, I mean, why are you so happy? That would be my question. Why are you doing all right when I'm over here a mess? I'd be asking, why does it seem like the
Right.
light's shining over
Right.
there on you? You know?
In these times, how, people are so depressed and it's like, why is she happy? It's like, "Be- because I can be. Everyone has a choice, everyone has a choice. Are there times we move through things? I will tell you, I went and saw a friend the other day, and she does makeup usually for weddings, but I hadn't bought any for a long time. And I started crying almost immediately. And later I'm thinking about this, and she always knows me in a very positive mood, but I had, we don't get to see very many people right now, right? It's always with the
Yeah.
face, and I hadn't seen her in over at least a year and a half probably,
Wow.
through all of this. And just a love. She's just a love, and I just started crying, and it was kind of hard to stop. And um I think it was the emotion of the room that wasn't me, but I was able to release it, right? Because I was thinking, like, I was okay till I sat in that chair. Like, who was in the chair before me, right? And I just
Yeah.
kept like, I don't know why I'm crying. It must be because we don't get to see anybody anymore. And I think, so that kind of took me off guard, and she just felt so honored that, and which was fine, just like it was what it was.
Right.
And I cried and I let it go, and I didn't hold it back, and it was just, so those moments do catch you.
Yeah. And you need that. You need it, and allow it to happen. Allow it. Because we're doing all this work to purge
Mhm.
all this. We don't want to take any more back in. So yeah, cry
Right,
if you
right,
gotta cry. I mean, geez, if you need a few minutes, go in the other room, cry, or take a nap if you need to. I mean, just, you know, and don't take everything so seriously. And when somebody else is being like
right.
that, talk to them and tell them, it doesn't have to all be so serious. There is there's
Absolutely.
positive things out there. There are, if you look past the upset and you bring
Right,
yourself back into the middle, into the still point, you can always find peace. And
right,
that's the amazing part, is that we can always choose, actually choose what we feel and
right.
what's going on in the world, whether we want
Well,
to be involved in it or not.
and just allow yourself to be whatever the feeling is. Just don't stay there. Move
Yeah,
through it. Don't
yeah,
stay in those negative feelings away from love. But
mhm.
we all have to experience these. We came here. We waited in line to come
I
down here and
know.
experience all this stuff. We were like,
That's,
let me in there. Let
I
me
know.
go. Let me in, coach.
Yeah, I know. And that's what it's all about, is experiencing things and learning things and moving through them and get,
Yeah.
but when we're on the other side though, we're not thinking about our little human self trying to do all this stuff, you know, making
Come
this
on,
big old
buddy.
list.
Let's
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I know, I know. Yeah.
Ah.
But I mean, just remember to have fun too. You don't have to keep doing shadow work every day.
Absolutely.
You can get up and say, I'm
No,
getting
I
up to do
mean,
something fun today, and go do it. Go walk in the woods,
ab-
with nature, do something, you know? Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool. Well, gosh, the whole hour went by already. I can't even believe that.
Oh man. Well, when you start talking and having fun.
Yeah, and it was really nice having you here today. So before we go though, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you at, so that they can
Oh,
get a hold of you,
yes.
or if you have any projects, let them know what they are. So let's do that
Oh,
before we go.
sure. I don't have any events scheduled right now, but you can find me on Facebook. I'm Denise Wood. And I do have Amplifying Love Facebook page. And then amplifyinglove.com is my website. And you'll, go through there and read it. Probably should update a little bit of the stuff there because I don't talk about the light language or the toning, but that's okay. It
Well,
is what it is.
make
But
sure that you put some of those in the comments so they can find you
I
and
will.
um,
I will for
experience
sure.
some of your amazing tones. I mean, I figured tonight
Yes.
you probably was too tired to be doing that, or I would have asked you to do it. But that's next time. So you have a
Yes,
you
we
have a
could do it
good
next time.
rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I do sessions like you do. We just help people